Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, January 10, 2026. Donald Trump has said it. Iran is seeking freedom like never before, and the United States of America is prepared, is ready to help. Yesterday, we revealed at night in the darkness that fighter jets and military equipment were being moved to attack Iran. Today, the world echoes the news that we brought first here in Military Strategies. Once again, discovering what's happening in the world before anyone else. The news told in a different way. Family, your likes, your comments, this is Military Strategies. Let's get started. Good evening, family, and welcome to Military Strategies Live, January 10th, 2025. Something incredibly big is being prepared. Something huge is brewing. Right now, the Pentagon is overcrowded, preparing the operation to attack Iran, which could happen very, very soon. The Iranian regime has had the internet cut off in the country for more than 48 hours, massacring its own people. The images we're receiving are horrific, hospitals full of bags of what you already know. Victims of repression, victims of the dictatorship, yet another dictatorship, the sister dictatorship of Venezuela. He has already decided not to follow Donald Trump's advice and instructions, and to defy them once again. The Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, when a week ago, he told them to stop massacring your people. Or you're going to have to deal with me. That's right. Marco Rubio warned and said, when Donald Trump says something, he means it seriously, and it usually happens. Well, that's exactly where we are, and that's what's happening right at this very moment. There's also an open debate on social media. People are saying it's a lie that there's a significant deployment of units happening right now in the Middle East. They're saying 2026, 2026, it's still a bit hard for me, going from one day to the next, and from 1 month to the next, and from 1 year to the next. For me, it's the same story every day. I'll just say it now. Unknown year. I think it's going to be better. All right, I was commenting that there's a buzz on social media from important accounts as well as intelligence saying that this isn't happening, that it's not going on,
No.
that there isn't any sign. Last night, for those of you who didn't watch the live stream, I recommend you check out what we did. And of course, last night we finished the live stream in the early morning. We have to see what happened today. What happened with those cargo planes? What happened with the tankers? And where did they go? You're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised by the situation right now. Some planes have even already arrived in Israel.
El-
In fact, Israel is even controlling the number of attacks in Lebanon to give priority, perhaps in the future, to attacks on Iran. Vivi said it very clearly. If they launch an attack against us, it will be the last thing they do. Vivi said it clearly. I'm going to read you stories that come up here that happen here. Currently, there are 2 aircraft carriers in the Persian Gulf operations area of the Nimitz class, the Karbilsum. And there is the classic one, the one that is about to be decommissioned, to end its life in this world of wars. He, unmistakable, the one who gave it its name, to an entire type of aircraft carrier. The spearhead of the United States of America, the United States ship Nimitz, is right now also in the Persian Gulf area. Navy F-35, Sea aircraft, Navy F-18, aircraft also F-15, aircraft that have already arrived in the area of operations, plus more F-18 aircraft.
So,
Be careful, because what's coming together and what's gathering here again is important. There are intelligence reports. We'll discuss all the details now. But please, your likes are super important. I know the news is really important right now, but your likes are also super important. We want your opinions. How should Israel respond to upcoming events? What has to happen for the structure, the Ayatollah's regime, to be struck and fall like a house of cards? Where should it be placed? The spear, in this case from the Middle East, so that the Ayatollah leaves or disappears or passes away. In fact, I'm already telling you and giving you a heads up, relatives of the regime are leaving Tehran and arriving in Moscow. There are images of this. There are videos showing how they're unloading turbans and black robes around Moscow. That's important. It's also an important sign that they're getting ready, in the worst case scenario, to leave there, to flee from there, and not stay until the fall of the regime. The latest we have is the 12 Days War, the war in which Israel was about to completely break the Ayatollah regime. The war in which the Ayatollahs were about to get themselves into serious trouble with Israel. Archive footage. We see it there. The Ayatollahs also launched their ballistic missiles, those ballistic missiles that cause so much damage and instill so much fear. A combination of weapons created for mass destruction, and without a doubt, Iran has recovered many of them and would be willing to launch them again. What I mean is that this channel's content is purely informational, covering military topics and global security news, and does not promote violence. And we don't want any kind of confrontation or for anything to happen. We simply report what happens, what's going on, and what's taking place in this world we live in. Informative, documentary, historical. Here, on military strategies, well, this is Tehran. Goodbye. The regime even cut the power. The banks aren't working. You can't withdraw money. There's no electricity in the refrigerators. They're driving around during the day in cars, telling shopkeepers to open their stores immediately. And besides, there's something even more terrifying. The Ayatollah's Sharia Council has declared that the participants in the protest are terrorists. Only the death penalty awaits them all. If these demonstrations, if these protests end up amounting to nothing, hundreds of thousands will later be hunted down, sentenced, and executed by a regime, the Ayatollah's regime. That's why people aren't backing down anymore, and there won't be any turning back. And a week and a half ago, the United States wasn't sure that the scale of the protests was so large or that they could cause such a stir. Now the Ayatollahs have completely changed.
The Ayatollah's position.
Donald Trump has written about this today. In addition to writing about Venezuela, and we also send our regards to our friends in Venezuela, he wrote the following. And this is where the alarm has gone off everywhere. We already knew it last night. But here comes the confirmation. Iran is seeking freedom like never before. The United States of America is ready to help. President Donald J. Trump. What does this mean? Chief Potos? We are ready to attack Iran's regime. We are ready to help the people so they are not oppressed. We are ready for the fall of the regime and the arrival of the United States of America with a massive investment to help that people recover, that great people, the Iranians. This is the final warning to the Ayatollahs. This message probably didn't sit well within the regime amid the ongoing chaos. Donald Trump saying that we're ready to help is not a good sign for the regime. And the regime is once again threatening the United States of America. He does it with one of his university professors. This is what is studied at the universities in Tehran. The hatred towards the United States of America and towards Israel. Is this university professor Fouad Azadi talking about taking advantage of the current situation in Latin America to deploy ballistic missiles in the jungle and launch them against the United States of America? Nothing more, nothing less. Frame from Menry Television Panico News. I recommend you follow so you can find out everything that's happening in all these dictatorships and with all these self-proclaimed enlightened jihadists. Be careful. Because the regime is a wounded, dying animal. And when it's backed against the wall, and thousands of protesters and people falling, already taking up arms, starting to fight street by street, the regime is going to press the button and launch the attack. Several people have already given their opinions on this topic. Notice that, and now we'll go to the airplane map because you're going to be amazed by what's happening. Get ready for what we're going to see this afternoon. This evening, you're going to see something incredible. Don't miss it here live. Military strategies. There are voices close to Donald Trump, to Bibi, who are speaking, even Bibi. Netanyahu warned that an Iranian attack would have severe consequences. He said Israel is closely watching the unrest and will respond militarily to any direct aggression. Maybe that's why planes have landed in Israel. Loaded maybe, not only, maybe, with anti-air defense systems brought from the other side of the world. It could be, we'll see now. Now we're going to study, we're going to see what was happening there and what the situation is. First of all, before anything else, I want to say, we're not putting any operation or anyone's safety at risk. We're giving information that any analyst who spends hours on this can figure out, just like we did. Iran can figure it out too. Nothing new is discovered here. Gunpowder is already invented and we know what's happening. Senator Lindsey Graham, one of the most critical voices on the issue of Iran, and one of those who asked the United States of America to put an end to the regime of the Ayatollahs. He says to the Iranian people, your long nightmare is about to end. Trump and all freedom lovers have recognized your courage and determination to end oppression. When President Trump says, let's make Iran great again, He means that the demonstrations and protesters in Iran must prevail over the Ayatollah. That is the clearest sign so far that he, President Trump, understands that Iran will never be great with the Ayatollah and his henchmen in charge. To all who sacrifice. In Iran, may God bless you, help is coming. This is the time for the Iranian people not to lower their guard right now if they want a direct intervention from the United States of America. If they go home, the repression will continue, and like never before, if they stay in the streets, even if we don't see all the videos, the United States knows because its agents there send constant reports. So it's likely that we'll find ourselves facing a possible attack by the United States of America on Iran. Now we'll look at the targets. We'll see which places could be the most suitable for this attack. How could it be brought down? The dynasty of the Ayatollahs? That's right. They say they have no plans to attack Iran, but are preparing for self-defense and unexpected events. I doubt it. The best defense is a good offense, and besides, Israel knows it. 12-day war. Ali Hamadani, director of the Persian language radio station in London, stated, ATMs and card machines are not working. People need cash. It is not clear whether the outages are due to internet disruptions or direct orders from the authorities. There's no money, there's nothing. There's nothing right now. Right now, Iran is in the Stone Age, hidden in the darkness, with cell phones lighting up, asking for the regime to leave, asking for democracy, asking for freedom, a freedom that isn't coming and that has to come. We continue with this. The Secretary of War, Pete has said, has retweeted the message, "We are ready to help," from Donald Trump. Now we have the Secretary of War involved as well. The Lufthansa company. Civil airline cancels flights to Tehran until January 2010 days of flight cancellations. Tasdin News, the regime's agency. Authorities have detained 200 suspected riot leaders with weapons and things that go boom across the country. Marco Rubio. The United States supports the brave people of Iran. The Supreme National Security Council of Iran. Iran is in the middle of a war. There is no peace or ceasefire. The rioters are a quasi-terrorist group targeting military and police centers to obtain weapons, trying to start a civil war. Recognizing the same regime, what is happening, what is going on, the images I mentioned arriving in Moscow, here they are. The Ayatollahs moving their turbans to the cold Muscovite lands. Seeing is believing. Reality. All this is happening right now. Shall we continue? The protests right now in Tehran are massive. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Arachi, states that the United States intended to apply its approach to Venezuela in Iran, but did not achieve its objectives. Error making that statement by Arachi, which will cost him more than he expected. Last time they spared his life, this time they won't overlook it. Donald Trump. The Jarabi district in Tehran is seeing massive participation in the streets after the second call to action by Jarevi. Reza II. The one who is in the United States waiting to be called to go govern Iran. We see him here.
Ready? Ready.
Now I'm just going to show you an image, a frame I can't do anymore. You can't see anything, but it's a hospital where your imagination can run wild to find out what's inside the bags. I've said it before, they're dropping like flies. Like flies, they're hitting you right now in flames. The country's second largest city has fallen. Only Tehran remains. Subtitle? Barricades, subtitled. More and more sounds, more voices. You can hear the women. Above all, this is the revolution of the women's community. It's incredible. Women fighting for their freedom. Spain is silent and says nothing, maintaining radio silence. However, they're concerned about events in Venezuela and whether Maduro or the King of Spain has been affected. Worried about international law? About Maduro. Don't miss it. Iran has used drones to monitor protests.
Not even a peacock remains in our hearts now. I was upstairs. That I'm not gonna film him.
There we can see it, a drone.
Monitoring the protests.
Notice that there's a detail that I don't find surprising. Iran has many short-range ballistic missiles, 100, 200 kilometers, 400 kilometers. Don't be surprised if in the cities where they've lost control, the regime uses them against their own people, against themselves. But now I want to show you something even more different. I want you to see this. Look at this frame. Look at it closely. What you're seeing is historic. This is the burning of a mosque. In Iran, a mosque. These people not only want to break away from the Ayatollahs and everything they represent, they want complete freedom. They need complete freedom. There are 24,000 of us now. Welcome to Military Strategies. If you haven't, please subscribe. We're starting a week. This one is ending, but we're starting a week that's going to be critical for us. Covering Venezuela, Iran, Israel, and global events will be a real challenge for Military Strategies. More surprises that we have prepared throughout this week. Don't miss it because things are coming. I warned you a long time ago that important things were going to happen on the channel. I hope we see them and all goes well. Hope all goes well. Let's do this. New video. Second largest city in the country.
He climbed.
He climbed.
Rebasso climbed.
It's incredible. It's something that hasn't been seen before. Even with the protests over the executed Kurdish girl, nothing like this had ever been seen. The issue of the internet blackout. Do these people want to rule the whole world and take us back to the Stone Age? Look at what the Ayatollah's regime has done. I think this chart is devastating. Look at this in green. Do you see? The level of internet in Edom. Until the 8th day of January 2026. From then on, it drops, and look, right now there's officially no internet in the country. What there is Starlink. Elon has opened it so people can send us something, a small part. But it's not just here. I want you to see this. Something that can move a lot of people. Isn't it item? London? The flag of along with the flag of Israel? Iranians and Israelis together? That's Netanyahu's vision. That's the dream of the people of Israel. To free Edom from tyranny and build together something that has never been done in life. An Iranian people who have always been connected with the people of Israel. Jews had to leave and flee from there. Entire communities from all over the Middle East had to escape and settle in Israel. Well, this precisely. This is happening now. The world ignores it with no international coverage. Few notice this historic event, but awareness is growing daily as people open their eyes. In the face of what are glimpses of hope about this topic. That's right. That's right. What else is happening? Well, now you're going to see something. Now you're going to see something. Let's go to the important map, and I'm going to leave it here right now in the background. This is because people don't like this. People don't like this. Seeing the flags of Iran together with those of Israel, Iranian streets supporting Israel, this causes them a total emergency. We love it. The more, the better. All right, let's go with Fly Raider. What's happening there? What's going on over there? Family?
Yep.
What do we have? Just last night on Military Strategies, we gave the exclusive. There are serious movements, very serious, of airplanes. Since dawn, we were reporting what was happening. That program was around 4 in the morning, an emergency program to tell the world. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because a war is coming. What has happened since that moment? What has happened during today? Have there been more movements? 4 in the morning, January 10th, 2026. Let's check out your comments as well. While we're watching all this action, let's start from the top. Johan, thank you so much. Welcome, Valentina. Greetings. Wonderful community. Lorenzo. In the case of Cubazuela, the fall of the Cuban Proletarian Guard has caused a political chain reaction. I already said it, if Venezuela falls, they will fall. That's our situation. If Venezuela falls, so will they. President of Chile, Boric decided to nominate former socialist President Bachelet to the United Nations. Willow Kira, thank you very much, Lorenzo. The problem with the attack is the suppression of rocket arsenals and cartels, communication and logistics hubs to provide close support if there is no uprising of non-Islamist forces. Now we'll talk about this. Lorenzo Laika. Trump is running around unvaccinated. Is anyone controlling Trump or not? We want freedom, Donald Trump. We want to free Iran. Great again. Victor, thanks to the strategies, we hope you're better. Yes, today. A hug from Puerto Rico. Today I'm feeling better. Let's see how the night goes and how the day goes. Ricardo Strategies. Blessings. It's the liberation of humanity. 100. And the feminists, where are they? Helem says, because of their absence among the hypocrites, where are the Monteros? Where are the Podemitas? Where are they? Nowhere, says Udaísmo and Zoroastrismo, a very ancient religion by Astrismo. Martin, thank you so much for that super chat, my friend. We're still live, family, and now we're really getting into the topic. What happened last night? From the time we went to sleep until now? Leaving from Bahrain, the C-17 we saw last night, the air patrol heading north of Iraq. Let's see. C-17 plane traveling south. This? The United States of America, another C-17 starting the route. A tanker plane in the United Kingdom. Entering. Flying planes from the United States into the United Kingdom. Let's continue. Look at this. What shows up here? Another tanker plane, a KC-46A Pegasus. Code Blue 1. Left. It appeared out of nowhere off the coast of Portugal. From where it came, from the United States of America, it left from here, from this military base, by Smooth. That tanker has taken a few planes with it. Look, the route crosses the Atlantic by the shortest line, Nova Scotia, and straight to the coast of Portugal. Down here. Where did he go? Torota. Rota Air Base. There it is. Another tanker. From Tucson to the Aviano base. Another Stato-trunker. Look. More movements. The C-17 we saw a while ago was already heading toward the Mediterranean. Another one was also coming up from the southern area toward Germany. One from the United Kingdom, not from the United States, directly, non-stop. Heading from Washington toward the south. The Galaxy, the one we were talking about last night, a gigantic behemoth that carries the biggest things from the United States, was also arriving. It didn't stop. It kept going. Heading south as well. And a Clipper plane was taking off from the United States, from America, from the United States, from America, from the United Kingdom. Pay attention to the C-5M because it's important. Look at that tanker that was coming from the United States from America. Where are they going to meet? Look at the trajectory. The C-5 turned off its transponder, and the tanker was now heading north. C-17 took off. Another tanker was also arriving from the United States. From this base here, from the west coast of the United States of America, they were escorting this tanker with airplanes. Just look at the deployment we're seeing, which is something unique. It's something unique. But there are intelligence sources saying that nothing is happening and that this is normal, but there's nothing normal about it. As someone who's been watching this for a while can tell you, C-17S. The United Kingdom's refueling plane was also joining the party. Another tanker from up here. The Clipper from the United States of America. We keep seeing. Look, the Clipper that left from Sicily heading east. It was cut off in Greece, and look, a galaxy on the route. From Spain, from the Spain route, a galaxy was deployed at $1 million cost. Moving this plane showed up here, a spy ferret plane. Look, same pattern as before. The Clipper can also refuel. Is it going to join the galaxy? The Voyager plane? The Airbus KC-2. Another tanker from the United Kingdom. It was coming down with planes over Bulgaria. There was a tanker plane from Bahrain, not from Qatar. I made a mistake. Heading north in Saudi Arabia. Look at this, look. How are they going to join together? Look. It came out of nowhere. Another Keebler, another Clipper from Athens. Where are they going? Did the K-35 refuel people? Did they know about Iraq and Kuwait? Has the United Kingdom moved planes to Cyprus? We're still watching, huh? Because the numbers will keep coming. Just look at the C-17S that have already unloaded. They've already done their part of the job. 1 in the afternoon. The tanker reappeared over the Persian Gulf. And the P-8 Poseidon took off from the United Kingdom. Attention with this, okay? A plane, an A400, from the United Kingdom, also heading south. a C-17 was returning to the United Kingdom. All available bases are being used to transport all the systems. Take a look. Now, the tanker we saw coming from the United Kingdom is taking off. And this is the key. Also, a plane, a C-17. From the United Kingdom in Israel, at the Bueno Airport in Jordan, at King Hussein International Airport. Look. Look, see how people and things are arriving. That tanker also arrived at the base of King Hussein. And then the C-17 took off heading home, of course, that tanker. Have planes been able to land in that place? Total positioning. From Poland. Another clipper. All of this happening at the same time. Realize what's going on. 5 in the afternoon. From the United States. Another A-400 cargo plane, another C-17. From the United Kingdom. A C-17 from the United States coming from the Germany area. Troops are moving everywhere. Where does the Galaxy show up? From Djibouti? Does that mean that the United States is also preparing in case they need to launch an attack in Yemen? In case the Yemenis, the Houthis, launch an attack? To give them a strong response. Galaxy has arrived there. Look how the shipments are arriving from one place to another, from one place to another. Planes keep appearing. We keep finding new things. Where was that Galaxy going? Now, it takes off from Djibouti. Looks like it's headed to the Kuwait base. Or Saudi Arabia. At 10,000 meters altitude, the Galaxy turned off the transponder. It's turned off so no one finds out, but it's still there. Look at what's happening, and this is real time now. Real time. Right now. What do you think, family? What do you think? I want your opinion. What do you think right now about what we're seeing, about what's happening at this moment? I think there's some preparation going on. For a large-scale military operation, 2 aircraft carriers are involved. We still need details on the number of deployed destroyers and submarines. Soon, all these images will start to come out. But I think we're facing a situation that really, from my point of view, an operation against Iran is going to be carried out. Seeing what we're seeing. Also, Donald Trump has said it quite seriously. Don't attack people, and these people are attacking people. They are attacking them. Donald Trump doesn't joke about this. Let's take another look at the V-2C. The V-52S. We should start looking at images of Diego Garcia. If V-52 planes, stratotanker planes, are arriving there, we should start watching for satellite movements. In Cyprus, at the King Hussein Air Base in Jordan. What could be attacked? What could the attack be? What objectives might the United States want to overthrow the regime? Let's take a look. Let's focus. Let's just find out. There are important regime bases inside and on the outskirts of Tehran. There are places that could be attacked. To bring down the regime. There are bunkers, underground facilities like the one we're seeing here. Those tunnels, those entrances into the earth, the dark world. The dark world of the Ayatollahs. This kind of structure, located throughout the geography of Tehran, could receive visitors very, very, very soon. For that, an operation would have to be carried out. Quite interesting. The one where, during the 12 Days War, Iran lost much of its western anti-air defenses, but has since recovered many. First, a campaign of subjugation to open an entry vector toward the interior. How would this be? 2 attack packages could be produced, one entering directly from the Al-Qaeda area towards the interior of the country. Here, the United States has to make a decision: either evacuate the Al-Qaeda airbase and fall back kilometers into the interior of Saudi Arabia, or risk having the base attacked. Having logistics there, it's an extremely important base. Up to 4 runways can be used in case of emergency at the same time. Officially 2, but unofficially, if the taxi area is used, 4 runways for takeoff. This is Al-Qaeda. Iran had already attacked it then. The following could also happen: concentrating a large number of aircraft at Al-Qaeda and taking them all off at the same time. All up in the sky, waiting, orbiting, with in-flight refueling. First strike package breaks the blockade of the Persian Gulf and the Bandar Abbas area in the Strait of Hormuz. Secure this entire area and eliminate the presence of the Revolutionary Guard and their naval forces. The flotilla of Iranian submarines that are capable of sinking oil tankers, powerful attacks, harpoon missiles, cruise missiles, drones. Could they attack with drones? Afterwards, we could go look for launchers and seal the entrances to the silos so they can't come out to fire. Places we already know well. Underground facilities. The mouths of hell. We're going to mark a first line, a first attack package, and it would be aimed at opening an air corridor. Second group, let's mark it. We're live. Totally live here in military strategies. What could be the air operation of the United States of America?
Yeah.
Offensive and defensive? First package. One from the wing to the baseline. Open towards Shiraz. Isfahan. Tehran. First line, 1,700 kilometers. We mark it. And we leave it there. Second attack package.
Okay.
From the bases in Jordan, in Saudi Arabia, in Cyprus, in Europe, in Greece. Time to mark. Another line.
Oh.
Now, it doesn't matter what happens in Syria. You can enter. There's a freeway in. Al-Jolani won't say anything. Enter all the way here into Tehran. Second attack package 1. Could we have a third one? We lost this one. Sorry. Let's paint. Mediterranean area. There. There could be a third one. Another group.
Oh.
Attacking. Tabriz. Tabriz is important because you can strike Europe from there. The Iranian regime could launch from these places. We're seeing now attacks occur against Europe.
Wow.
Underground facilities and missile shelters. Israel already knows all of this.
And
What could Israel do? If Israel joins in, something could happen. As always, talking about what could happen, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. Anything can happen. The large F-35 base.
Ingo.
The base of the 12-Day War. From there, they would go up north. They would enter through Syria. They would keep going until here. And they could start to knock this whole area. Do you want to march? Ramabad Isfahan Ramadan. Guam Fordo. We give you. With drones, F-35 planes, F-15 planes, using aerial refueling, the United States of America could do some serious damage
To.
to the Ayatollah's regime. We're live now. Family, military strategies. How could the attack be? What could happen? Look at the image. Also counting.
Him.
With Diego Garcia's birds. Diego Garcia. B-1, B-2, B-52 bombers entering 5,000 kilometers. "5,000 kilometers from Diego Garcia," which could also happen. I think it's clear. Family. The situation right now requires a complete and detailed analysis. What's happening is no coincidence. What's going on is without a doubt the future of what's to come. There we go. From Venezuela, from the Caribbean Sea, Southern Command, now the Central Command. United States, Donald Trump, man of 8 wars. Looking for the 9th, the people of Iran seeking their freedom. Israel seeking to embrace Iranians. In a prosperous future for all in the region, peace would come and it would be the end. Let go of the Jews, of terrorism in Iraq. Or of the attacks in Europe. Donald Trump is the man who can fix this. And we, the families of fallen soldiers, we're going to see it day by day. We're going to see it. Everything is about to happen. Everything is about to occur. Family, super important. Your likes, your comments, subscribe to the channel. We will have live footage. We will have cameras. As usual, we told the truth about what was happening at every moment. Let's see what happens. And if this is the only and the last war we're going to see in this 2026, although I think that's not the case. Also, family. There's breaking news. Breaking news. The Night Stalkers, the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment Unit, with Delta teams. Rumor has it they're operating in the Iraq area, waiting for the right moment. Let's see a mature one. 2, this time with the Ayatollah. Let's see the Ayatollah in a Nike tracksuit. Just do it. It could be that we see something that leaves us impressed, that makes Putin feel not so secure inside Russia, that sends a message to China. Let's see. What happens with all of this? Tonight, Central Command confirms the following.
Aproximadamente
At 12:30 Eastern Time, the forces of the United States Central Command, along with associated special forces, carried out large-scale attacks against multiple Islamic State of Iraq and Syria targets in Syria. These attacks are part of the operation. Hawkeye, which was launched on December 19, 2025, by order of President Trump, in direct response to the deadly Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, attack against United States and Syrian forces in Palmyra on December 13, 2025. That ambush, carried out by an Islamic State of Iraq and Syria terrorist, resulted in the tragic death of 2 United States soldiers and a United States civilian interpreter. Today's attacks targeted our ongoing commitment throughout Syria to eradicate terrorism from the region. They are already there. They're already there. Which planes did they use? Well, watch the video. You'll watch a video of the planes used for this operation. This thing about the internet. Impressive. And they go back to the Stone Age and they fall down in complete darkness. And now all we can do is pray, so our friends from Iran can be free soon. I'm going to lower the video. Excuse me for a second. Let's see if I can. I'm having problems with the server to download this video. But in the meantime, I wanted to tell you something about Venezuela and make a small reflection. The regime was supposed to release hundreds of kidnapped people, and it's not doing it. The regime was supposed to bring peace, and it's not doing it. The United States has to look at this closely, and we also have to be careful with the names given to releases, because then things happen as they do, which is not the case. Look, this is the F-15 video. There we see it. And the A-10 Underworld with its lethal 30mm machine gun loaded with Jaden bombs. There we see them loaded up with bombs. Jaden, all taking off. First target. A house. Destroy ammunition, Jaden. Impossible to survive that. Look here. What we're seeing is an old military area. We see the trench zone in these images. We also see what could be a runway for flights. Maybe the area we're looking at now. Let's take a look. That area sounds familiar to me. Let's see if it's the area I think it is. It's just north of the Jordan border. But you have to understand that Islamic State of Iraq and Syria is deployed everywhere. Kinetic attacks. High-powered drop bombs. Very impressive operations. The United States still has military bases inside Syria for control and management of the whole situation. But is it possible that we are facing a bigger operation to clear the ground, to carry out unseen attacks against Iran, with infrastructure being destroyed? On the way to Iran, planes pass through there then reach Iraq, and from Iraq they go on to Iran, which makes it very likely. It's very possible that these operations we're seeing that are being carried out are meant to bring down the regime. Family? We're going right now to JR, in quotes, who's going to give us more information about what's happening, about what's going on, and we'll see you in the next show, right here. On Military Strategies, thank you for your super chat and all your support for this channel. I really appreciate it. I think it's going to be a coalition of countries. Thank you, Cecilia, for that support here. On Military Strategies, thank you so much. Let's play the video. We'll watch it here. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. What happens to Putin and his war if Iran falls? More isolated than ever, Ibis Mejias. Thank you, the favorite. Thank you, Miriam. If other countries help the United States of America with the attack, I think Israel will need to strike first. Hugs, military strategies, and family? Let's pray. Abel, thank you so much for that super chat. And Diedrich, thank you so much as well. David Macchio. I continue with the strategy. After the kibbutzim attacks, the War of 10 was intense. But what we've gone through with him is indescribable. Thank you so much. Pahlavi Barmi Gardel, the king is back. Long live the Shah, people are saying. NATO, E-300 near Slovenia? That one is probably monitoring what's happening in Ukraine. Greetings from Las Vegas. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. Andres, where are the Free Palestine supporters? Hypocrites are silent. Thanks for your show, Long Live Freedom, says Ralo Lopez. And let's not forget the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Narj Mojamam from Iran. Sorry for the misspelling, don't worry. It's fine. We understand, family. We're leaving. A hug from Haifa. Such a beautiful place. I visited there. Martin, thank you so much for that super chat, and we'll see you in the next show here. On Military Strategies, greetings.